Coming up, Joplin police investigate a non-injury shooting overnight.
And the rain is trying to make its way into the area. I'll tell you when more rain gets here from the Skywatch Weather Center.
And as the Mega Millions jackpot rises, so does the risk of lotto scams.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Authorities investigate a shooting overnight in Joplin. This is KOAM News at Noon. I'm Tanya Bach. Topping our first 7 minutes, the JPD finds shell casings and a victim after responding to a call of shots fired overnight. It happened just before 11:30 last night in the area of C Street and North Wall Avenue. After finding several spent shell casings near an alley, police made contact with a victim who was not injured. The victim said he was on a bicycle and was being followed by a white passenger car. He says the car knocked him off his bike and someone in the car fired multiple gunshots at him, and then the car fled the scene. Police are still investigating. Rain and cooler temps, two things we actually want to talk about.
Yeah, I know it's rare that we want to talk about rain, but rain is something we have certainly needed, and we've been getting it. A little bit of a break today. As you can see, it's kind of curving around the area, but in northeast Oklahoma, you're starting to see a few of these showers around, say, Grove, Bartlesville, south of Miami. It's going to stay dry for most of us. The one thing you will notice is we've got increasing cloud cover, and that's going to lead us to some more storms and showers later tonight. Unfortunately, despite the rain that we've seen so far, yesterday, drought situation upgraded. This red is extreme drought, and there's only one more marker on that drought tracker that's left. And so the drought situation is not getting any better. The rain will help a little bit, but just not enough. Right now, as you can see, the rain has helped over the last couple of days too, because look at these temperatures. We're all sitting in the 80s right now, where not long ago, we were already sitting in the upper 90s. Quick look at the future track. You'll see the showers that have been going on now, and you'll see them start to be a little more scattered as the evening progresses, but it's going to be tomorrow before they really get going. We're talking early tomorrow morning. We'll take a look further into Saturday. As we head through the rest of the evening, the increasing clouds will continue through midnight. Temperatures dropping to 76 by midnight. All of us getting into the 60s to start our Saturday. We'll take a look at the full forecast, including the additional rain chances and how much rain we could see here in just a few minutes.
All right. Well, rain is a welcome sight here. It's not that way everywhere across the nation.
That's true. There's some places that have been getting a little too much rain.
And that's right. In Kentucky, Kentucky's governor says 15 people, including children, have died from flooding in the state. He says he expects that number to rise as the rain continues to fall. Search and rescue crews look for missing people today after the floodwaters wiped out entire communities. And dozens of people also had to be rescued in the St. Louis area because of more flooding Thursday that came on top of record rains earlier in the week. There was also dramatic flooding overnight in Las Vegas, where rain poured into some of the casinos. And in Apache Junction, Arizona, rain turned some roads into rivers. A bipartisan bill to boost microchip manufacturing in the U.S. is now headed to the president's desk for his signature. The $280 billion package is aimed at addressing supply chain snags exacerbated by the coronavirus pandemic. Supporters call it a win for national security and your budget. Natalie Brown reports from Washington.
It's a shortage that's impacted everything from cars to essential electronics.
Sometimes we've had to scale back production because of chips that were just frankly unavailable.
In an effort to supercharge the nation's semiconductor industry, Congress passed a bill aimed at boosting chip production in the United States.
Now it goes to the White House with the president's signature.
The CHIPS and Science Act includes around $52 billion in subsidies for U.S. companies producing computer chips and $24 billion in tax credits for new manufacturing facilities, as well as tens of billions of dollars to fund research and development.
We will return America to world leader status in semiconductor production and power American science and research for generations to come.
While the bill passed both the Senate and House with bipartisan support, Republicans were divided, with some saying it doesn't go far enough to prevent investment in China and calling it corporate welfare.
I support making chips in the United States, but we cannot lead a new era of innovation through massive government subsidies.
But supporters and the Biden administration say the bill is critical to compete with other countries and ultimately drive down prices. Natalie Brent, CBS News, Washington.
President Biden, in a statement, said the bill will increase domestic manufacturing and lower costs for Americans and will make the U.S. less dependent on foreign sources of semiconductors. Well, the Mega Millions drawing is tonight. The lottery jackpot has now hit $1.1 billion. That's billion with a B. And your chances of winning around 1 in 302.5 million. Ouch. The cash payout option is $648.2 million, and that's of course before taxes. Well, the massive jackpot has scam artists trying to use the opportunity to rip people off. Christine Lazar shows you what to look out for.
I can feel the winning ticket. It's the excitement surrounding the Mega Millions jackpot.
I'm hoping that lightning strikes.
And thieves are hopeful too.
As soon as you get to $1 billion jackpot, all eyes are on the jackpot.
Consumer cybersecurity experts say we are seeing a spike in lotto scams, from bogus websites claiming to sell Mega Millions tickets to scams promising a lotto windfall.
So in many ways, it's like a perfect storm for scammers. They have a large prize pool that people are attracted to, and they've got people who are very susceptible and vulnerable.
The most common scam, according to digital safety company Aura, is being told you won the jackpot, either over the phone or via text.
And in those scams, they're asked to maybe make some kind of prepayment, pay your taxes up front or give us a temporary payment in exchange for a much bigger payment later. And of course, the temporary payment is made, but the bigger payment never shows up.
And there are news sites posing as legitimate lotto sites, offering online Mega Millions ticket sales.
Of course, these are not official lottery tickets.
This man has never played the lottery before, but he was lured in by the $1 billion jackpot. Could you see how someone would fall prey to a scam with this much excitement?
Absolutely, I can. I've seen more people play the lotto than I ever have.
And you cannot purchase lottery tickets online. If you want to get a Mega Millions ticket, you'll have to go into an authorized retailer. And if you are a lucky winner, they will never ask you to pay anything up front. In Los Angeles, I'm Christine Lazar, CBS News.
That's a look at today's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes. Up next on KOAM News at noon, we take a trip to Austria, where a group of grandmas and grandpas are keeping busy brewing beer. And later, we're frying up funnel cakes as the Mr. Food Test Kitchen wraps up its State Fair food tour. When it comes to popular pastimes at retirement homes, playing cards or knitting might come to mind. But at one care center overseas, residents have a rather unusual hobby. CBS's Tina Krause shows us how these seniors are brewing up happiness.
If there's a recipe for happiness in later life, residents at this retirement home in Vienna, Austria, may have cracked it. These seniors, all in their 80s, are brewing their own beer. Project manager Christoph Gruber says it all started as an idea to help residents improve their motor skills and train their brains. Every Thursday morning, the octogenarians take a seat at the table to produce 150 bottles of craft beer based on a Viennese recipe from 1841, using only Austrian ingredients. Rupert Jaksch says, we meet up, talk about beer, make jokes about it, and another day goes by, a nice day. Their first brew, called Grandma and Grandpa, that's Oma and Opa in German, was a huge hit, selling out in cafeterias at 30 care homes across the Austrian capital. So they've now expanded their brand with a lighter lager known as Helmut and Helga. Ingeborg Zeller says, I like to keep busy. It doesn't matter with what. And as for the brouhaha this beer has stirred up, well, everyone seems happy to drink to that. Tina Krause, CBS News.
That is awesome. The care home has sold about 25,000 bottles of beer so far. Proceeds are going to help patients with dementia. Still to come on the KOAM News at noon, Mr. Food.
We couldn't leave the fair without having a funnel cake, and just wait until you see how easy these are to make at home. But first, Chris Warner returns with your complete forecast.
Well, I know a lot of us have stayed dry through today, but do not worry because there is more rain on the way. It's just not here yet, unless you're in northeast Oklahoma. We'll take a look at the radar in a moment. So as we mentioned, it's a bit drier today across the area, but there's still some scattered showers out there. They will increase as we head through the night and into early tomorrow morning. And then after this nice little respite from the heat, August gets here, and August reminds us very quickly that it's going to be hot. Despite the rain we are getting, unfortunately, it is not enough to help out with the drought situation. As you can see, this red, all of this is extreme drought. The next and last step is exceptional drought. Hopefully we don't get there. Hopefully this rain at least keeps us at this stage. But man, we still need a lot more rain. Taking a look at 7th and Range line, we can see the partly cloudy skies. They will become mostly cloudy as the day progresses. In Joplin right now, it's 85. Slight heat index, feeling like 88 because it is a bit on the muggy side out there. All of us are in the 80s for the most part across the board, except in parts of northeast Oklahoma where there's been a little bit more rain shower activity this afternoon, which we'll take a look at. Now, as we head through the night tonight, it's going to cloud up really good as the night progresses, 74 by midnight, and then overnight lows getting into the lower to mid 60s, maybe some upper 60s out there as well. So by comparison, a chilly start for your Saturday compared to what we've seen. So here's the rain in northeast Oklahoma, and you can see more of it out west, some of it breaking up though. But don't worry, like I said, it will increase as the night goes on. So let's take a look at the next 24 hours. As we go through time, temperatures drop off quite nicely, and you see the rain chances start to increase right around 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and they're going to hold on all day long, but they're going to be scattered like what we've been seeing. So let's take a look at the future and what it has to hold. So this is 5 o'clock. This is, again, some more scattered showers, maybe a rumble of thunder in southeast Kansas. You can see, again, some more scattered storms, but about 2 a.m., they really start to pick back up again, and then we get this batch out to our west. And this is Saturday at 10 a.m., Southeast Kansas pretty well socked in. Look at this heavy rain down in southwest Missouri. This is a big batch of showers and thunderstorms that's going to roll through. And then the scattered trend will continue again, as you can see, through the rest of the day on Saturday. And even as we head into Sunday, more scattered showers and thunderstorms. But by Sunday afternoon, the system starts to clear on out of here and calm down a bit, unfortunately. So here's what we're looking at for possible rain totals all the way through Sunday. And you can see where some of us may pick up a couple of inches. Check out Mount Vernon, could see upwards of 3 inches. So do keep an eye out for potential flash flooding, especially with some of those heavier thunderstorms. It's something we've got to keep an eye on because, again, the ground is dry. It's going to be trying to soak in all this water, but those heavier thunderstorms may dump it a little too fast, and that could result in some flash flooding. So I should have stood on this side so you didn't really have to see this part of the 7-day forecast. So we'll stand here and kind of cover that for a minute. Hopefully you didn't look yet. Thunderstorm chances today, tomorrow, and into Sunday. Temperatures in the 80s, overnight lows in the 60s through the weekend. Then we get into Monday. There may be a lingering shower or two come Monday morning. And as we head through the rest of the week, this system does its thing. It moves on out. It goes home. And then the sun comes back out. And August reminds us that we are still getting right into the thick of the dog days of summer. As temperatures start to push back up toward 100 again. And those overnight lows creep right back up there as well. So we're getting this brief break. What we need now is in August, if it wants to throw some 100-degree days at us, fine. Throw us some more rain in between. Give us something to work with.
And give us a break and not just like a 7-day stretch of 100.
Yeah, or like we saw, the 14-day stretch of 100-degree days. Hopefully we can get some rain to help break this up. But the heat will return, so I know it's rainy, but enjoy this while you can. Hopefully everybody will enjoy the weekend. That's for sure. Yeah, it's going to be... It's weird to say with rain and thunderstorms, but it's going to be nice. Delightful. It will be wonderful this weekend. All right. Thanks, Chris. We take this time to honor today's 4th state hero, Sergeant Dean Epley. In the U.S. Army, the soldier served with the 785th Medical Company stationed in Iraq in 2007. To Sergeant Dean Epley, we thank you, our 4th state hero. Well, you can't go to the fair and skip out on the funnel cakes. Today, Howard wraps up his Mr. Food State Fair tour
with the Pennsylvania Dutch treats.
What a blast we had all this week at the fair. Besides practically eating everything in sight, we rode almost every ride you can imagine. Yeah, even the bumper cars. And as you can see, we also scored big on some of the games on the Midway. Look what I won. But we couldn't leave here until we tried one last fair classic, the funnel cake. And since the fair only comes to town every so often, we decided to create an easy homemade version that's made just like they do here. It starts off with a quick throw together batter that we drizzle through a funnel into hot oil. Yeah, a funnel. That's where it gets its name. Once it's golden on one side, we flip it until it's crispy on the outside and tender delicious on the inside. After they drain for a minute or so, it's time to dust them with lots of powdered sugar. Let me tell you, these are perfect to nibble on when you want the taste of the fair at home. So here's what I suggest. Go online and get the recipe for our easy funnel cakes along with all of our fair favorites. Now there's no hiding the fact that you ate one, since you'll probably end up with powdered sugar all over your face. I'm Howard from the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, and now I have to round up the rest of the troops and head back to the test kitchen so we can whip up even more. Ooh, it's so good.
I love funnel cakes. You can find this recipe along with a lot more good food from the Mr. Food Test Kitchen online. Just go to our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. Here's a look at our 4-state market prices.
So we've got these showers and thunderstorms. We're kind of dry right now. This is Saturday, 10 a.m. You can see they will pick back up by tomorrow morning. And a quick check, and they'll stick around, by the way, and a quick check of that 7-day forecast does show better temperatures through the weekend, better rain chances through the weekend. And then summer returns, unfortunately, 100 degrees by the start of next week.
All right, what do we have coming up tonight at 5?
A lot coming up at 5. For starters, an opera performed at UCLA opens a new dialogue about the mental health struggles of military veterans and Health Watch medical research that's striking a chord. Plus, we'll take you to the Route 66 Heritage Festival happening in Miami, Oklahoma, and we're going to meet the group behind the Parsons Police Department patrolmen. You join us for those stories. A whole lot more, of course, including the prospects for rain this weekend. KOAM News at 5.
And I think someone might even owe Chris a free lunch next week.
I think so. There was a little bet going on with the control room. But we're not going to elaborate on that because we're down to 8 seconds.
That's right. Thank you.
Tim just told me that it doesn't count.
3 seconds.
It doesn't count.
Thanks for joining us for the KOAM News at noon. We'll see you right back here at 5 o'clock.